my team was actually pretty accommodating. I think the biggest thing that I thought was they were going to be like, hey, why are we firing this guy? And, some of them, they're like, oh, okay, I can't deal with this, and leave. But, no one did that. So a lot of the problems you come up with are ones that you're thinking would exist, but they really won't. They don't.
Another question. Go ahead.
Josh, have you ever been asked by a board member who your mentor was behind the scenes?
Yeah, my chairman actually asked, because I made reference to, I had a mentor who taught me the ropes on, doing deals. And so, that was it. But most of the other guys, they haven't really asked. I mean, because I already have the chairman, I already have the rest of the team, so.
Josh, have you got an exit strategy?
Yeah, so we got two exit strategies. One is we just sell off regions to health systems. So we buy up all these surgery centers, buy up all these urgent care centers, buy up all these physician practices, merge them together and sell them off to a hospital network. The other option is we just have we take the whole entity public. So we have two ways to do it. We also have the option of just private sell to a competitor. Though I think a public offering is a really attractive model for this one because there's a company in the space trading at like a multiple of 30. We can buy them at like 5 to 8, depending on how many of them and what their specialties are. So buy at 5 to 8, sell at 30. Sounds good to me.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Josh, do you have certain parameters for your first deal size, or is it just as they came to you?
Just as they came to us. So let me take the largest deal we're looking at right now. It's not this $70 million one. There's actually another deal we're still running the numbers on it, but it's probably going to be about $150 million deal. Single owner, multi-facility. I mean, it's a doctor who grew this thing organically, very, very intelligently. So that's the largest deal. We also have one that I think is going to be closer to $1.5 million. It's a surgery center out in Las Vegas doing $500,000 in turnover or $500,000 in EBITDA. We already signed the NDA. We're just waiting to get the financials on it from them. They're collecting those. So, you have everything from $1.5 million to $150 million. So as far as spread, it's a huge spread. Just go for whatever's lowest hanging. And that can vary. Quite honestly, that can vary. So just because it's a bigger deal doesn't mean it's higher or lower hanging than other ones. Just you got to figure out, okay, how easily can we buy this one? And so, just got to assess it from there.
Other question. Josh, thank you very much. If you need me, you know how to get a hold of me.
Yep.
And when I come to Los Angeles, even though you're only 18, I expect you to buy me a drink.
Okay. I don't know if we're gonna sneak me in the bar.
Oh, I got a place. Don't worry. I got a place. Don't worry. I got enough clout to get you in one. Okay. Thank you very much. Kid can't even buy me a fucking drink. Now, guys, I don't mean this with the greatest respect, although I'm going to say with the greatest respect. You all look shell-shocked when you're listening to him. And the reason, because you still don't believe how young he is.
He's smart, though, right?
Oh, there's no question he's smart. Fucking A, he's smart. But I told you, better to be smart. But he doesn't sound like the same kid from 3 months ago. He sounds like a little fucking investment banker now.
What did he used to sound like?
He sounded like a 17-year-old kid before. He sounded like you when you were stuttering talking to me last night. That's what he sounded like.
So is it the 400 calls that makes the...
Oh, God, please. Please, thank you, Allah. Yes, you fucking black bastard idiot. That's exactly right. I'm going to give you the secret to success of this deal. I don't know if it's tomorrow about the calls, but it's the calls. I was not a world-class speaker at one time. It's hard for me to believe. But I came up with an idea called TFC back in '72, Total Financial Counseling. The organization that they have financial planners now. I forget what they're called. Something financial planners, certified financial planners. That wasn't started yet. And I said, the secret to the success of controlling money for Wall Street firms is controlling assets, I said, which is now what they do, but this was a 72. So I said, I came up with this concept, total financial counseling. And I made speeches from Bangor, Maine to Miami to Seattle to San Diego. The first 120 or 130 speeches I made, they threw shit at me. Literally threw shit at me. After I made about 140, 150, I was a silver-tongued motherfucker. I've made, my old boss, there weren't as many formalized selling programs in those days. He gives me the white pages. Call every motherfucker in the, you know what the white pages is? The phone book. Call every motherfucker in the book. And when I did that, then he gave me the yellow pages. Call every motherfucker in that book. So I've made 100,000, 200,000 calls, I don't know. After 10,000, I stopped counting. I know I personally have more calls, made more cold calls, than every seminar I've ever given at this castle in 22 years. Cumulatively. I personally, Dan Peña, have made more cold calls. That's why I'm good. We did a deal. We were trying to do a hostile takeover of Booker PLC years ago. And we got called in, and Goldman and all these guys were there. And make a long story short, I said, well, who's the shortlist to be the CEO on this deal? And they gave me 5 names, and I said, but if we really, really wanted the guy, who's the best guy, not these guys, a guy named Ken Hanna. I hope you're watching, Ken. Well, what did he say when you called him? He says, well, nobody's called him. Why? Oh, well, we know he'd say no. Now, these are Morgan, Sachs. These are big fucking hitters. It's like, does anybody have his phone number? He says, oh, yeah, I was at boarding school with him. Give me a fucking number. Now, I had not made a cold call at that time in 6, 7, 8 years. 6, 7, 8 years. So I'm thinking, my mind's processing, the guy's going to go get the number. They're bringing me a phone. I got a room, at least as this many lawyers and accountants, investment bankers, probably twice as much. I said, dial it. Simon dials it. Got through the first gatekeeper. Got through the second gatekeeper. Got through to him. And I said, Mr. Hanna, you don't know me, but if I can show you a way to make $50 million pounds in the next 12 months, would you be interested? Then I added legally. How'd you get this number? Who are you? Yes or no? Yes. He says, well, it's fine. I'll be there in 10 minutes. Everybody in the room, fuck. But I had not made a cold call in 6, 7 years. That was it. Now, I'm not sure I've made a cold call since then. Cold calling, numbers game. It's numbers game. Like he said, 300 or whatever. He's made more calls this week than this whole room has made in your career, except for maybe you. But he's smooth. He's not the same kid. He's not. He was always intelligent, but he's smooth. Plus, he's got confidence now. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. But he downplayed a little the fact that when his chairman, 2 chairmen and a CFO, I mean, now it's just, fuck the 11. That's not what it sounded like when that happened. He didn't cry and fall. Well, he may have cried, not to me on the phone, but he may have cried, I didn't see him, but that was huge, huge in his growing process. And then you think, well, what's everybody going to say when the CFO leaves? And like you said, they said nothing. Nothing. You'll stay up 3 nights losing sleep about it. It's in between here. Here, absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. And he just, he did it. And but he's working about 120 hours, including his regular job. And like you said, I can't wait till I can this deal closes and I can quit my job and I can just work 140 hours a week just plain doing this. He's not going to go to sleep. You'd go to sleep. You do a $70 million deal, I probably never hear from you again. You think don't laugh. You know how many people have sat in this motherfucking room and said, I want to be billionaire. Romanians too, fucking gypsies. I want to be billionaire. Billionaire. They do a $10 million deal and then I never hear from them again. Never. What happened to the billionaire? How bad do you want it? How much sacrifice are you willing? How much blood? We got, 8 pints of blood in us? Something like that? How much are you going to drip out before you die? There's a thing you're going to see, I don't know if it's tonight or tomorrow night. One of the greatest fights in the last 20 years, and the kid gets beat to death, literally beat to death, and he comes back to win. To death! I can't even watch it. I have to turn away, and if I have to turn away, it's ugly. And the guy comes back like the fucking phoenix to win. It was 2002. I forget who the guys were. One South American guy, one other guy, and it was a bloody fucking thing. So, I mean, he makes it sound simple. Because it is simple. And like you said, you'll make it much more difficult than it is. Don't ask any more fucking about self-esteem or your emotional bank account. Please, do you have the answer now?
Yes, sir.
You must be as stupid as you look. Okay, any questions about Josh? Yes, he's a smart kid. He doesn't know anything about what he's doing. Yes, sir. Yeah, he's never been to school. None of his brothers, 8 brothers or sisters, have ever been to school. No, nothing. Mm-mm.
So, what exactly did you accomplish in 38 days?
From the chairman to $100 million financing. And now it's 57 days to the deal. He had the financing before the deal. Because that's what I tell you to do, see? But you won't. You're going to go find some little chicken shit deal out in Bakersfield, and then you're going to run around holding your balls trying to get money for it. Instead of getting the money first. But see, that doesn't compute to you. You warm up the banks. I got this deal. You may have the deal in your pocket. We're working on this thing in healthcare. We just want to know, are you in the market? We see the tombstone, blah, 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 blah. And 3 weeks later, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. When I talk to him, I'll talk to him later. He thinks it's not funny. That's the wrong word. He doesn't really understand why you want to listen to him. Somehow that doesn't compute to him. Okay, nothing more on him? YouTube, thank you. Goodbye. Auf Wiedersehen.